what's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back. We're here with another Keter class SCP. That's right, this time we're checking out SCP-3288, the Aristocrats. And there's nothing I love more than looking at people in power and their evil, devious ways. Anyways, if you want to check out the original video, let's link to the description below. I hope you check it out. That'd be awesome. And hey, while you're here, subscribe to this channel. I upload every single day, 2 to 3 videos a day depending. So, stick around. It's a vibe. Anyways, let's get into it. Hey there, this is Editing Alicia, and I want to let you know that this video has a massive trigger warning. Once I finished recording it, I was like, I cannot upload this until I record a bonus trigger warning to let you know that this hits on messed up topics. Now, when I say that, I mean real messed up. So if you want to skip this video, you're more than welcome to. I have a bunch of other videos here on the channel every single day, so make sure to check those out too. And if you feel like you're okay with really fucked up content, I mean think of the worst things you kind of can type of stuff, then proceed. Anyways, bye. Why is chat all saying oh no? Should I be concerned? Uh-oh. That's why I like when I don't tell you guys ahead of what we're doing. Because you guys all go, what the hell? Oh my god, I can't believe it. Ew!
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller.
Oh, hell no! Oh, no! Oh, it's ugly as a motherfucker.
And the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-3288. Object Class, Keter, formerly Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. An SCP-3288 population no less than 20 nor greater than 30 individuals is to be maintained at Humanoid Containment Site 282.
Sorry, this is just really loud. Let me just turn this down a little bit. There you go.
Each SCP-3288 must be contained within individual containment units. Behavioral studies that require SCP-3288 to SCP-3288 contact are to be conducted with the utmost caution. SCP-3288 are to be terminated where encountered and disposed of per hazardous waste protocols. It is imperative that SCP-3288 infestations undergo thorough destruction or containment, as a single uncontained instance of SCP-3288...
I'm sorry, I'm so squeamish because it's slowly zooming in on him. And I have this full screened and it's like dark and I'm like freaked out. Sorry, because it keeps like zooming in. Ah!
Has the potential to...
Kind of needs a trigger warning, to be honest. Okay, trigger warning. I don't know what the triggers are for, but if you get triggered, don't stay. Alright, go watch my other videos. I probably uploaded a few extra videos today anyways. You can watch other videos I have. You don't need to watch this one.
You're an SK class dominant shift scenario within the next century, if not sooner. Description. SCP-3288 designates a highly predatory species or subspecies of the genus Homo anthropophagus. SCP-3288 display a number of abnormal characteristics and behaviors that distinguish them from the baseline species. The most common deviations include acute hyperdontia. Hyperdontia is the condition of having supernumerary teeth, or teeth that appear in addition to the regular number of teeth.
Oh.
And macrodontia. Macrodontia is the condition of having abnormally large teeth. An instance of SCP-3288 has teeth approximately 6 times the size of normal adult teeth, with more than 60 teeth unevenly distributed over 6 to...
Hold on, I was trying to see it. My teeth are... 6... Ah! Ah! How big the teeth are! I'm sorry. I started trying to figure out how big the teeth were, and I was like, alright, let's just start measuring. No!
Distinct rows, requiring jaws much larger than that of baseline humans. Gross mandibular prognathism. Mandibular prognathism is a potentially disfiguring genetic disorder where the lower jaw outgrows the upper, resulting in an extended chin and a crossbite. Fluctuating facial asymmetry. Dolichostenomelia. Dolichostenomelia is a condition in which the limbs are unusually...
Do you know what they really could have summarized this with? He an ugly fuck. They're an ugly fuck. They got big ass teeth. They got weird ass jaw. They got weird ass face symmetry. They got a weird ass chin. They got a weird ass grin. They got weird... This is why you can't put me in to write a document, man. I would just be like, ugly bastard. He thick. Too thick, though. Didn't know that was a thing until now.
Long of the
even
arms.
his teeth thick.
An instance of SCP-3288 commonly has arms more than twice the length of a baseline human of similar height. Arachnodactyly. Arachnodactyly is a condition in which the fingers and toes are abnormally long and slender, in comparison to the palm of the hand and arch of the foot. And polydactyly. Polydactyly is a congenital physical anomaly in which there are supernumerary fingers or toes. Kyphosis. Kyphosis is an abnormally excessive convex kyphotic curvature of the spine, as it occurs in the cervical, thoracic, and sacral regions. It is more commonly known as hunchback. Abnormal muscle strength despite having the appearance of severe emaciation. Albinism. Superior low light vision. SCP-3288-1's eyes contain tapetum lucidum, a layer of tissue immediately behind the retina that reflects visible light back through the retina, increasing the light available to the photoreceptors. And heterochromia iridium, specifically complete heterochromia. Complete heterochromia is when one iris is a different color from the other. The eyes are notably reflective and their colors range from blue, red, purple, and yellow. A reliance on both bipedal and quadrupedal locomotion. Abnormally rapid physical growth and development. This results in a 2 to 3 week gestation period with sexual maturity.
Alicia be like, professionalism? Nah. Dude, I used to have to write reports for one of my old jobs. And when I used to write reports at the start, I would be like, all right, so this is what I did today. This is what I blah, blah, this is what I accomplished. This is what needs to be done. This is like the path in which I want to accomplish it, blah, 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 blah. Then after working for like a few weeks there, I was like, I did this. This takes too long, so I'm not doing that. And then, like, the language completely changed. At one point, I started doing bullet points. I was like, fuck writing, dude. You're gonna get bullet points from me. That's it. If you're smart enough, you'll figure it out. I was like, you ain't letting me leave. We know you ain't. I'm stuck here.
Being reached within 16 to 20 months. Gotchell-Gardner syndrome. Gotchell-Gardner syndrome is a rare condition in which the epidermis develops a layer of enamel. The substance tends to fracture.
Yeah, I tend to give my characters in most like RPGs and shit heterochromia. I think it looks cool as fuck. So, I mean, I could have done that with my VTuber model. I thought about it, but I was like, I think it would just be really distracting for people. So I didn't do it. That's the only reason I didn't. Because otherwise people would be like, I can't stop looking. So I was like, okay, I gotta like... But my eyes are extremely detailed too, actually. I don't know if you guys ever noticed this or not. But... Any Genshin players here? You'll notice that there's the Anemo symbol in my eyes. Yeah.
And shift, causing pain but allowing the afflicted to remain mobile, primarily manifesting on the hands and fingers. Alopecia universalis. Alopecia universalis is a medical condition involving loss of all hair, including eyebrows and eyelashes.
Yeah.
Acute photophobia. Direct exposure to sunlight will result in both physical and psychological...
They literally were like, how can we make the ugliest motherfucker in the world, okay? And then they started just writing. They started writing.
Damage. Mental instability primarily characterized by delusions of grandeur and malignant narcissism.
I'm gonna be honest with you, that's anybody with power and money. Listen, that's something that's very common for any motherfucker who gets a bag. They start acting all crazy and shit, high and mighty. Thinking, ooh, I'm the best thing to ever touch this damn earth.
Addiction to human flesh that takes on biological and psychological components. These abnormalities are primarily the result of excessive inbreeding, but without the increased chance.
I mean, when it comes to aristocracy, they do have a phenomenal amount of inbreeding. I'm sorry, I laughed too hard. I was just thinking, what if it's actually not an SCP? What if it's just the royal family? What if it's just the royal family? Unlucky, go next.
For certain recessive or deleterious traits.
Motherfuckers in the SCP organization go, these motherfuckers ugly as a bitch. Oh, they ugly. They got all these abnormalities. It's gotta be an SCP. We gotta secure, contain, and protect this shit. Oh, hell no.
Especially those related to infertility, higher infant and child mortality, and loss of immune function. These detrimental traits have not only been negated but inversely amplified, resulting in longer lifespans, increased resistance to disease, and anomalously high levels of fertility. The Foundation became aware of SCP-3288 while investigating reports of unexplained disappearances in Vienna. It was discovered that these incidents occurred in close proximity to sewer holes and access tunnels and primarily targeted the most vulnerable of the population, such as prostitutes, unsupervised children, transients, and inebriated or otherwise indisposed individuals.
Okay, they're just describing real-ass aristocracy motherfuckers, like aristocrats. They're just describing real ones. They're not like full, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's...
Agents Cyril Novak and Diana Fisher were dispatched to Vienna in order to determine whether or not a number of unexplained disappearances were of an anomalous nature. Interviews with law enforcement and government officials revealed that human remains belonging to 3 individuals had been recovered, but that this information was not released to the public due to concerns of causing further panic. These remains were promptly confiscated and delivered to Humanoid Containment Site 282 in Graz. Autopsies were performed by Dr. Felix Gardner, who noted that the remains, cadavers A, B, and C, displayed no injuries corresponding with a human attacker and compared the deceased to victims of hyena attacks. Cadaver A includes the upper torso, truncated at the center of the abdomen, and loosely attached head. The face had been rendered unrecognizable. The arms, much like the lower half of the body, were not found at the scene of the attack.
Oh.
Cause of death: exsanguination. Cadaver B had been disemboweled and suffered destructive trauma to the thoracic cage, which was then pried open. All internal organs of the torso were missing along with a sizable amount of flesh. Cause of death: traumatic cardiac arrest. Cadaver C was little more than a pile of shattered bones and bodily fluids. Cause of death: unknown. Dr. Gardner concluded that all sustained injuries...
I looked over at the new picture. Okay, wait a second. This was less scary to me, because look at this. Hold on. Oh, look at this. He got the fuckboy teeth lick. He got the fuckboy teeth lick. Hey, girl. They do that shit on TikTok, and they be licking their teeth, and they look into the camera and smile and shit, and they start touching their chin and whatever. You know what I'm talking about? They're trying to have that pretty boy swag.
These were caused by a mix of teeth, claws, and raw
they
physical
hit you with a text like, oh, they're like, oh, I'm gonna go shower, I'll be right back. They go, without me? Head asses. You know what I'm talking about?
Bite marks were found to coincide with human teeth despite their abnormal size, approximately 6 times the size of normal adult teeth, and number. More than 60 teeth unevenly distributed over 6 distinct rows, requiring jaws much larger than that of baseline humans. Further analysis revealed unique patterns among the bite marks, suggesting that there existed more than one source. The entities responsible for these deaths were classified as anomalous and received the SCP-3288 designation. Mobile Task Force Sigma-6, Helsingers, was ordered to patrol the Leopoldstadt district while incognito, the district having seen the highest number of recorded disappearances. Operatives are instructed to target SCP-3288 with tracking darts and to refrain from lethal force. Field Logs: SCP-3288 L1. Field Log 1, 10/06/1988. 12 Mobile Task Force Sigma-9 operatives patrolled the Leopoldstadt district at 1800 hours, while 10 maintained watch at positions with unrestricted view.
I'ma just say it right now, okay? If they talk about them fucking in herds with their incestuous ways, bro, I'm gonna go lay down. I don't want to hear about it.
Views of known sewer holes.
These roly-poly-olies fucking is not what I'm into. I want it. No.
And access tunnels. At 0021 hours,
60
operatives Sigma 612 and Sigma 69 reported hearing a muffled scream near the Donau Canal. The Donau Canal is a former arm of the river Danube, regulated as a water channel since 1598 within the city of Vienna, and sought to investigate the matter while requesting backup. Support arrived 3 minutes after the initial request and found the mangled remains of both operatives, as well as the half-consumed body of a local civilian. The decapitated body of Sigma 612 was pulled from the Donau Canal, although the head was never located. His neck had sustained injuries, suggesting that it had been severed or destroyed by a single...
It's almost Christmas time! I need my ornaments. Give me your head. This is gonna go great. Who brought the other ornaments? I hang it on the tree. Thank you. Would you guys be willing to be my Christmas ornaments? Give me the head. Thank you very much. You wouldn't be the top of the tree. You would just be ornaments around the tree.
Bite. A trail of blood and entrails led to Sigma 609, who had been torn in half along the waist. He had successfully crawled into an alleyway before succumbing to his injuries. The mission was deemed a success despite the loss of life, as Sigma 609 had successfully struck the SCP-3288 instance with a tracking dart, achieving the mission's primary objective. The entity had escaped into the sewers, its movements tracked until the signal began to fade, before entirely disappearing somewhere below the Hofburg. The Hofburg is the formal imperial palace in the center of Vienna, Austria, built in the 13th century and expanded in the centuries since.
The
palace has been the seat of power of the Habsburg dynasty, and presently serves as the official residence and workplace of the President of Austria. Due to the progressively declining nature of the signal, it is believed that the device had been brought far deeper than even the Viennese sewers should have accommodated.
Yep.
SCP-3288 L2. Field Log 02, 10/07/1988. Constructed in the mid-19th century, the Viennese sewers are part of a larger network of subterranean tunnels.
Got any games on your phone?
that include catacombs, abandoned wine cellars, and underground rivers.
Do you know what's crazy? I was going to talk about, is there catacombs down here too? Because of their aristocracy, they clearly have catacombs for their family. And since they're feudal status, and since they're near a palace as well, right? I was like, oh, cool. They just brought it up for themselves. That's pretty sick.
Bubble Task Force Sigma 6 operatives were divided into 4 teams of 5, 3 teams to investigate the sewers, and 1 to remain standby. By triangulating on the last known location of the tracked SCP-3288, the Foundation hoped to minimize the possibility of escape and of public exposure. For this mission, while it is preferable that operatives secure and contain the threat, lethal force may be used at their discretion. At 0900, Mobile Task Force Sigma 6 operatives reached their destination without incident, but initially failed to discover anything of significance. After several hours of investigation, Sigma 604 encountered human skeletal remains while wading through waist-deep water. Closer analysis of this area uncovered a number of loose bricks, whose removal revealed an unrecorded subterranean chamber whose walls were engraved with the House of Habsburg's coat of arms.
Oh.
The chamber included 24
don't go in there! Don't go in there! We're gonna see horrific shit! No! Don't! Bro, it's got this shit on it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Sarcophagi, and was presumably a family crypt belonging to the House of Habsburg, despite there existing no records of its creation. The statues primarily depict women wearing veils over their eyes, with a single finger held to their lips. The tombs, though intricate and reflective of their status, lacked any indication as to who may have been interred within. Prying open the sarcophagi revealed the skeletal remains of over 300 infants, all displaying severe and likely fatal deformities. The original entrance had been evidently destroyed, the stairs shattered and buried in soil. At the far end of the crypt was a vault door composed of bronze, with no apparent means of access and seemingly impenetrable without proper equipment. The door displayed the House of Habsburg's coat of arms and was engraved with the words,
"That was way more fucking weird than what I thought it was gonna be. That was way more fucking weird."
"Ad puritatem sanguineus," translated to English for purity of blood.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. It's so much worse. It's so much worse. Okay.
Mobile Task Force Sigma-6 operatives were ordered to hold their current location and await the arrival of an infiltration team. Foundation agents organized the temporary evacuation of the Hofburg and the sealing of all sewer access points throughout the city.
Chatter goes, "We warned you." Is that gonna make me any less shocked? Huh? No, motherfucker, there's 3,000 infants in that bitch. Like, what?
SCP-3288 L3. Field Log 03, 10/08, 1988. Mobile Task Force Sigma-6 maintained shifts throughout the night, making repeated attempts to open the vault door. At 1200 hours, the surface had been fully evacuated, and an infiltration team had arrived at Mobile Task Force Sigma-6's position. The bronze gate was carved apart via oxy-fuel cutting torches over an approximately 2-hour period, bypassing intricate mechanisms, likely related to its conventional means of access, and revealing a spiral staircase. An 8-person squad, each operative equipped with an M16 rifle with attached flashlight, heavy tactical armor, and helmet-mounted live audio-video recording devices, descended the staircase, with radio transmission growing increasingly faint.
Santa, is that you?
As the operatives traveled an estimated 65 meters underground. Red ground flares were periodically lit and discarded, providing a clear path of return. Operatives reached the bottom of the stairwell, where the gray stone halls of the...
Yo, this is what AI hands look like. You know when they see AI artists? Every time they have mo-fucking hands in their pictures, it looks like this. I know that for this thing, it's like, it's intentionally like, oh, he has a deformity that gives him extra phalanges, but for
Crypt were replaced by masterfully crafted marble floors, carpets, and white painted walls and ceilings. The large chamber was found to be architecturally identical to the Swiss wing of Hofburg Palace, closely resembling 18th century depictions and reflecting the late Baroque, early Rococo artistic style popular during the era. The location, since classified as SCP-3288-1A, contained various sculptures and Corinthian columns, paintings, and tattered tapestries adorned its walls. All depictions of the human form had been literally defaced, regardless of artistic medium. Operatives described the air as having an odor not dissimilar to rotten meat and stale sweat. The floors and walls were discolored with what appeared to be blood, most of the stains appearing to be exceptionally old. Traveling through a southeast corridor, operatives entered what appeared to be SCP-3288-1's equivalent of the Hofburg's Imperial Library. One notable difference between this section of SCP-3288-1 and Hofburg Palace is the presence of a working 18th century laboratory. Sigma-607 is the only member of the acting squad to be fluent in both German and Latin. Discovered documents involving alchemy, biology, and the occult. A decorative writing desk and accompanying throne were located at the far end of the chamber. The desk contained documents relating to transactions, contracts, and private journals. These documents, along with those relating to the occult sciences, were gathered and delivered to Field Command. See the SCP-3288-1 Recovered Documents subsection for further details. Operatives reached the ballroom and opera hall, describing the air as especially fetid. The aroma of perfume was also noted, though its presence did little to disguise the smell of decay. The air
when you walk into XQC's room and you try to use Febreze, that shit still stank as fuck. Oh, pick up your trash. Oh. The gamer musk in here is strong. Febreze won't save us.
Area contained a number of instruments, standing harp, harpsichord, violins, etc., all of which displayed evidence of recent use. There were several refectory tables, A refectory table is a highly elongated table used for banquets and feasts. Located through the chamber, the ballroom evidently used as a dining hall as well. Atop the tables were human remains in various levels of decomposition and culinary presentation. A bell abruptly...
Alright, someone in chat goes, them motherfuckers need to get out of there. Honey, sweetie, baby, that's every SCP we've ever encountered. Every time a motherfucker goes in and fucks around with the SCP and finds out, we all go, shoulda left. That's everyone!
began to toll and was followed by the automatic music of a nearby pipe organ. The discordant song played for approximately 3 minutes. When the pipe organ ceased its playing, it was followed by the sound of opening doors and an increasing number of shuffling footsteps. Operatives were ordered to find a hidden and defensible position and to deactivate their flashlights. 7 successfully hid behind the curtains of the opera hall, but Sigma 618 fell behind, having tripped over a pile of bones and forced to take cover behind a harpsichord.
Oh, you're fucked. That one's
Sigma
fucked.
601 was able to observe the entire ballroom without obstruction from the far corner of the stage curtain. The ballroom's wide gates opened, as video revealed the dim light of lanterns swaying in the hands of their shambling carriers. Closer analysis would show that these figures, SCP-3288...
Sorry, I punched the shit out of my desk. I'm so sorry. 1 second. Oh, God, fuck. Okay, I'm good.
were dressed in the garb of 18th century courtiers. They are followed by others wearing increasingly extravagant, if ragged, attire.
Ooh.
All outfits appeared to contain different shades of red, deeply contrasting with their chalk-white skin,
like, it's a little
porcelain
raggedy, but at least
masquerade
it look
masks,
good.
and powdered wigs. A pair of diminutive SCP-3288 entered, lagging behind the others. One blew a rusty trumpet, while
I mean, you probably don't look good because y'all got big-ass teeth, big-ass mouths, big-ass hunchbacks, big-ass things. Y'all inbred as fuck. Y'all got weird-ass motherfucking things. Y'all got no hair, got no eyebrows, got no eyelashes. Like
the other acted as a standard
I mean,
bearer,
sure, you look great.
holding a crudely painted ensign depicting a red lion on a black field. The trumpeter appeared to make an announcement, the words unintelligible due to the guttural nature of their speech. The trumpeter and standard bearer quickly moved aside, their stunted legs causing them to tumble and roll as they fled. There now appeared to be several hundred SCP-3288 throughout the ballroom. Sigma 601 activated a silent distress call, requesting heavy support. All SCP-3288 proceeded to kneel and lower their heads. An exceptionally corpulent instance of SCP-3288 entered the room, carried by another SCP-3288 via an enlarged and reinforced sedan chair. A sedan chair consists of a chair or windowed cabin suitable for a single occupant, which is carried by...
Are you sure you don't mean a sedan? He pulled up in a car. I'm sorry, I made a little shit. I'm sorry, I had to. No, I know, they're describing what it actually is. But I need to be a little shit sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
By 2 or more using the rails that pass through the brackets on the sides of the chair. The morbidly obese individual, classified as SCP-3288 Alpha, was dressed in a patchwork of noble finery, stitched together from various fabrics to create a single outfit capable of fitting its frame. It had wore a crown that had come to more closely resemble a torture device, too small for its head but held in place by an overgrowth of flesh. In lieu of a masquerade mask, it hid its face beneath a red shroud. A large iron cauldron was delivered to SCP-3288 Alpha's table, the container appearing to vibrate of its own accord. A dwarf SCP-3288 climbed atop SCP-3288 Alpha's shoulder, proceeding to lift its red veil while leaving its eyes covered. A second, diminutive specimen removed the cauldron's cover. SCP-3288 Alpha sniffed the air, then proceeded to lift the cauldron and pour its contents down its anomalously large mouth and gullet. Part of its meal wiggled free, revealing that the cauldron contained living infants displaying severe deformities.
Yeah. I was guessing that in my head, because I was like, okay, yeah, they kind of like mentioned the infants before, and yeah. Yep. Oh. Okay.
The other SCP-3288 raised their masks and began to feast with voracious enthusiasm. An exceptionally tall specimen approached the harpsichord and snatched Sigma-618 from behind it. It lifted him by his head but made no effort to alarm its fellow SCP-3288. Instead, the entity unhinged its jaw and quickly forced the operative down its throat, feet first, his screams unheard among the sounds of feasting and discordant music.
I'm sorry. He said, "Ooh, Goofy, I love finger foods. Down the hatch."
The gathering became orgiastic as the SCP-3288 turned to fornication and violence, making no distinction between the apparent age or sex of the participant, willing or otherwise. An explosion rocked the event, causing mass casualties among the SCP-3288. It is hypothesized that Sigma-618 survived his ordeal and was able to, likely after some struggle and consideration, activate an explosive device, sacrificing himself in order to terminate or otherwise incapacitate a great number of hostile entities.
Yeah.
Panic spread among the remaining SCP-3288. Mobile Task Force Sigma-6 would exploit this opportunity and employed 3-methylfentanyl to render the SCP-3288 unconscious. With the arrival of reinforcements, the survivors were secured and contained at Humanoid Containment Site 282. The sheer size of SCP-3288 Alpha necessitated the use of a special crane and the creation of a shaft directly connecting SCP-3288-1 to the surface. Following the removal of SCP-3288 Alpha, as well as all relevant documents and objects, SCP-3288-1 was filled with cement and reburied. SCP-3288 Alpha Interview Log.
Oh shit!
10/10/1988. Interviewed SCP-3288 Alpha.
Oh my god!
Interviewer Dr. Tobias Moser. Forward. Despite its corpulent morbidity,
you could say that incestuous orgy was explosive. But Alright.
1,632 kilograms and lack of mobility, its atrophied legs entirely vestigial. Subject is considered dangerous and to be approached with the utmost caution. Subject is blind and incapable of reading or writing. The interior of its hollow sockets pushed outward to the point of prolapse.
Oh.
Subject is fluent in Austrian German, preferring to speak the Schönbrunner Deutsch, a sociolect spoken by the Imperial Habsburg family and the nobility of Austria-Hungary. Subject has been stripped nude, bound, and muzzled, equipped with electrodes to prevent hostilities and ensure cooperation.
Yeah.
Begin log.
Hello. Please begin by telling me your name. Your cooperation is not optional.
The meat wishes to speak. It speaks not when spoken to. Meat.
This just sounds like the royal family. Like, the Habsburgs family was known to be extremely inbred, by the way. Yeah, you know what? This all checks out. This all checks out. Nude! Don't be surprised. It's not like you could see his dick anyways. His tummy goes way past his penis. You're not gonna see nothing. You're fine.
Master, the meat caught us. The aroma is intoxicating.
As I said, your cooperation is not optional.
Impossible. How does meat hurt? How does meat disobey?
You will answer me.
Is this how you wish to play? We do not submit. We dominate. We will beat you until your entrails spill. We will devour you and your peasant kin. Do you believe your witchcraft can harm us?
Again. Right? Shit, when I tell someone, "Ooh, fuck me raw," I don't mean to the point where my guts start spilling out. You feel me? I prefer my guts to stay gutting inside of my body. Just saying.
Our blood is pure. Our blood is resilient.
Okay.
Sir, would you be so kind as to illuminate the subject? My vision doesn't work so well in these dim cells.
No, wheel, fire, and I was so scattered from the flame.
That's enough.
He's a fucking gamer. They just turn on the lights. He goes, "Oh, the flames! Oh, the lights! They burn my flesh skitters. Keep me in the darkness."
Yes, I noticed light sensitivity during your transfer. Extreme photophobia, even without eyes. I'll be sure to make note of that. Now, tell me, what is your name?
The Imperial Majesty, Emperor Maximilian the Great, King of Austria and Patriarch of the House of Habsburg. We have not entertained outsiders in so long. Excuse my uncouth ways.
I don't like him. I don't like him.
You are clearly a superior creature and have asserted yourself. We are at your mercy. Does our guest wish to feast upon our flesh to rid the festering wound?
No, we really don't. Oh my god, we really don't. Oh no, we don't. We don't want that. No one wants that. No. No. Stop it.
Good God, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dr. Tobias was like, yeah, fuck no.
Would you even... No, that won't be necessary. I see that our customs differ quite significantly. Might I ask, were you blind from birth, or did you lose your vision accidentally?
But the pleasantries have yet to reach completion, and you now have us at a disadvantage. What is your name, outsider? You are fluent in German, but your accent is distant and strange.
I am, King Tobias Moser of the Foundation.
A king? Yes, of course. It all makes sense now. We sense nobility. A duke we mused. Can you believe that? A duke!
It's kind of smart of him to kind of quickly come up with him being a king as well. To, like, gain the connection with him. Because Alpha only responds to others who are also of upper class, right? So when he felt like he proved himself to be of higher class, he was like, okay, fine, then I'll be willing to have a conversation with you. And then once he heard he's a king, he's like, oh, perfect. He's not smart. He's a sister fucker. Did you think he was smart? Did you come into this conversation, chat, thinking this motherfucker had brain cells? Come on.
But certainly you have proven yourself
Upper class and capable of harming him, yeah.
simple duke. We've heard of this foundation, a marvelous land and people, well known for its many cheeses and wine.
Ah, it's so funny. Because he has to be a know-it-all, right? He has to be a know-it-all. So he's like, oh yes, I know of this foundation. It's known for its many cheeses and wines. A marvelous land, right? Like China. It's funny.
As for our eyes, our royal true-seeing eyes, alas, we were hosting a banquet and our eyes, it seems, were too big for our stomach. Have you heard that one? Oh, the mirth. But yes, you see, the meal was too big. They warned us, of course. Oh, His Imperial Majesty, let us cut this meat for you. But no, we are
that explains why his eyes popped out. Fair enough.
Gone forever. Unmissed.
I see. Well, that was quite a story. Tell me of your court in the House of Habsburg.
We are of the same noble blood, but some are more noble than others. Our bloodline is pure, untainted by outsiders.
I fuck my sister real good. You see, we got a pure bloodline. I'll tell you what, feller.
I must ask this, but why eat human?
We do not eat human. We eat peasants. We eat undesirables.
Yeah, they don't deem them as being human. Yeah, makes sense.
We devour life undeserved.
Well, they are
That
aristocrats.
is the true nature of nobility. What else would be the point?
Understood. I must take my leave. We will speak again soon.
Yes, we will think of you, Kenworthia, in your absence. Over and over. We are eager to sample your flavor. So delightful. So delicious.
End log. Afterward. We may be able to glean more information by playing to his delusions, but it is difficult to say how much of it is true. However, DNA analysis has revealed that SCP-3288 Alpha does in fact descend from the House of Habsburg, and this so far appears to be true for all SCP-3288.
Gross.
A number of significant documents were recovered from SCP-3288-1, allowing the Foundation to develop a better understanding of SCP-3288. The following excerpts have been translated from their original German and are arranged in chronological order. Footnotes have been provided in order to frame these documents within their historical and cultural context. Excerpts from the Journal of Leopold I. Leopold I, Leopold Ignaz Joseph Balthasar Felician, 9th of June 1640 to the 5th of May 1705, was the Holy Roman Emperor as well as the King of Hungary, Croatia, and Bohemia. Generally regarded as an intellectual, he was known for his interest in astronomy, alchemy, and the early sciences. 10th of November, 1700. And with the death of Charles, a reference to Charles II of Spain, Charles was physically and mentally disabled and infertile, possibly due to this massive inbreeding. Due to the deaths of his half-brothers, he was the last member of the male Spanish Habsburg line. The physician who performed his autopsy stated that his body did not contain a single drop of blood. His heart was the size of a peppercorn, his lungs corroded, his intestines rotten and gangrenous. He had a single testicle, black as coal, and his head was full of water. So dies our noble line in Iberia. I will restore our rightful place. My claim is valid and will not be denied.
I mean, he was infertile anyways. Having a single little black balled up testicle ain't gonna change nothing. But yeah, it's fucked up.
I already hear the intoxicating drums of war. But his disease, his curse concerns me greatly. Despite the purity of our blood, untainted for generations, Charles was a sickly creature with the mind of a child. I too was a sickly youth. But my mind remains sharp. I must make use of this blessing before my dynasty succumbs to madness and cretinism. 4th of August, 1701. The Jesuits have exhausted their usefulness. Against my better judgment, I have chosen to seek out those with knowledge of the so-called abominable sciences, scholars of the forbidden mysteries, both great and terrible. And I have found someone who knows the dark, a woman of rare, almost beguiling beauty. She is older than she appears, for she speaks with the experience of 100 lifetimes on subjects I had only just began to grasp. She is a creature of the wild, a living embodiment of all that is pagan. I am a stranger in her world, and I am afraid.
Don't be seduced
22nd
by
of October,
women.
1701. She says she will teach me, but for a price she will name upon the completion of her tutelage. A strange request, but all she presently asks is that I uphold my end of the bargain. I have more power and wealth than any man alive. Payment will not be difficult. I will not allow our venerable house to fall. But my laboratory is ill-suited for such a task. I have hired workers to begin construction on a new site, something away from the prying eyes of sycophantic courtiers. 19th of December, 1701. My tutelage, though difficult, progresses well. A universal essence, the way of all flesh, it all begins to make sense. My eyes are now open and I see with such clarity. I will cleanse my family of this curse. The essence is malleable, subject to change. But one piece moves the other, you see, resulting in an often unpredictable transmutation. My current experiments make use of the simplest of God's creations, rodents and insects primarily. I have formed living things, creatures whose very visage would sunder even the most resolute of minds. 8th of February, 1702. Construction of the new laboratory goes well. I predict its completion within the next 3 months. Equipment has been delivered from Damascus.
You guys started spamming One Piece, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, is there a Luffy reference? And I looked back up and said, but One Piece. And I was like, oh, got it.
If there is one thing those Mohammedans know, it is the occult sciences. More often than not, my teacher leaves me to my own devices. She appears only at night, though I cannot say from where. She comes and goes as she pleases, my servants seemingly unaware of her presence. 27th of March, 1702. The new laboratory was finished ahead of schedule. The workers merely need to install my equipment, and I can take my experiments to the next tier.
Oh.
But fresh materials are required, and pests will no longer suffice.
Oh, disgusting. He's upgrading to humans.
I am not yet willing to experiment on my own blood, but perhaps there is another way. The workers promised secrecy, but in my dreams I see betrayal. I have come too far to allow such interference. If the church learns of this, it could ruin everything. These dreams are an omen, and I know they will consume me unless I take swift action. I know what must be done. 5th of April, 1702. My teacher is less understanding than I had expected, for even her heathen heart does not dissuade the disgust and contempt with which she now looks upon me. I did what I had to, for my family, for the purity of our blood, for the immortality of our chosen line. How could this witch understand my burden? She vows to return tomorrow for her payment. I would just have this over with. I am still a man of my word. 16th of April, 1702. I watched her burn. Her sorcery slew many of my guardsmen, but in the end she was detained and delivered to the church. The zealots, having heard my testimony, proved just as eager to see that wretched be consigned to the flames. I know such methods have fallen out of fashion, thus we committed the act under the cover of darkness and secrecy. I would have granted her land, or made her as rich as Crassus, but no. That wicked creature sought to be clever. She said I could never save my family without her aid, and demanded that I end my rule, destroy all my titles and deeds, delivering my land and wealth to the common folk. Did she really believe I would plunge my kingdoms, my empire, into anarchy? Truly, she was mad.
I mean, you said you would agree to any payment.
But now, nothing remains but ash and cinder, and I may return to my great work, no longer bound by her ethical inflexibility. There is so very much to be done. Later entries by Leopold I are increasingly frenzied and illegible, suggesting a deteriorating mental state until his death in 1705. It appears that he eventually had success, resulting in the creation of SCP-3288, albeit with unintended consequences, via the introduction of an anomalous gene into the family bloodline. This gene allows human DNA to resist certain deleterious conditions associated with inbreeding. The House of Habsburg continued its practice of inbreeding, accelerating the development of mutations. Those with significant deformities were hidden from the public, the Habsburg monarchs eventually creating vast vaults to house them. The vault dwelling.
Holy shit! Okay, if you're this certain level of inbred ugly, we keep you down in the catacombs. We keep you down at the below chambers, not the catacombs, the below chambers.
Habsburgs continued to breed, eventually developing mutations which vastly increased their rate of reproduction, in turn increasing the chances of entirely new mutations. Those who more closely resembled baseline humans remained on the surface, while those sent below continued to adapt to subterranean life. DNA analysis has revealed that consanguinity grew increasingly more extreme over the years, further indicating that incest between parent and child, or brother and sister, had become the norm among SCP-3288 by the 19th century. It appears that the Habsburg monarchs went to great lengths to provide their vault-dwelling kin with a lifestyle just as extravagant as those above. Documents reveal the steady delivery of food, wine, and entertainment. Over time, these requests become eccentric, such as exotic animals for a menagerie, and strange, a barrel of fermented whore piss.
Alright, who's crackhead uncle? Whose crackhead uncle goes, I got a piss kink. I need it. I'm trying to get golden showered. I ain't gonna take a real shower. Fuck that. But I'm trying to get pissed on by a whore. Give me a whole bucket of it. A whole barrel. That ass.
And eventually depraved, including requests for fattened children and instruments of torture. All evidence suggests
Bring the fat kids. Bring the fat kids. I'm gonna start poking their bellies with knives. That's what they're saying. They're fucking weird, man. Holy shit.
That these requests were met. It is unknown how long SCP-3288 have survived without outside assistance. One document appears to imply that the Great Plague of 1738 led to the delivery of a significant amount of feed. One document of singular importance contains a list of vaults similar to SCP-3288-1. The Foundation has used this information to locate and neutralize SCP-3228 hives, but the document itself has been the cause of concern. Half of it illegible due to mold-related damage.
Oh, shit.
This means that at least half of these vaults cannot be located and will continue to be a significant threat to the public.
Yeah.
Addendum 0923, 2016. There are a growing number of reports describing violent sexual assaults and acts of cannibalism throughout Central Europe. Closer analysis of these attacks has led the Foundation to conclude that SCP-3288 are responsible for the violence. Due to the widespread nature of these events, it is feared that multiple undiscovered SCP-3288 vaults have been breached. An instance of SCP-3288 was recently captured at the Black Forest in Germany.
Okay.
Tracked to a derelict hunting lodge by Mobile Task Force Sigma-6, the entity was successfully secured and contained, with operatives suffering only minor casualties. 9 bound women were discovered in the basement. Only one was alive, and the cadavers displayed ruptured lower abdomens and evidence of partial cannibalization. Autopsies would reveal that the dead had been primarily consumed from within. The survivor was dirty, malnourished, and her lower abdomen was heavily swollen and visibly throbbing. The woman screamed to the operatives, pleading that they get these things out of her, along with various expletives and religious invocations. She received medical evacuation via helicopter but crashed approximately 5 minutes into its flight. 4 fetuses were discovered among the wreckage. Though heavily charred, all displayed mutations associated with SCP-3288.
Oh, God.
The recently captured instance of SCP-3288 was interrogated. SCP-3288, 6971. Interview log, 0924, 2016. Interviewed, SCP-3288, 6971. Interviewer, Dr. Elijah Varga.
Yeah, the fetuses are trying to eat their way out of the womb, and then the fetuses end up getting consumed in big old down the hatch, you know?
Forward. Subject is restrained and muzzled, and its cell is equipped for enhanced interrogation. Due to the severity of the circumstances, personnel are encouraged to use all possible means of information extraction. Interview conducted in German. Playing log now.
Are there any other victims? Where are they located? We don't have time for this. Use the light.
You wretched whore. I will pluck out your eyes and
Put the screws in it. Tell us everything.
I like that pull up and goes, man, fuck you, bitch. Turn the lights on. Put the screws to them. Fuck it. I ain't playing these stupid ass games. Tell me what you know, stupid. I like that. He pulled up on his hood shit.
I yield. Parlay.
Tell me what you know.
You wish to know about the vessels. I am but a duke. The Empress. You want the Empress.
Tell me about these vessels now.
We are merely claiming what is ours. By the divine right of kings.
The women you...
The Empress. She said it was time. For 1,000 years our blood has been pure. Untouched by the taint of outsiders.
Why change? Why now?
Our blood, it is strong now. So strong, it overwhelms the blood of the wretched and the mudbound. Our line will never die. It will never fade. We will every last one of you. Our bloodline will never die. No. It will become everything.
Yeah. No, I get what they're doing now. Before it was all about inbreeding and sustaining their bloodline. And now they're branching out and creating little demon babies. In SCP cases inside of people outside of their bloodline. Because their blood is so strong and tainted that they can still create more even with those who are not in the family.
It is our gift. Our blessing.
What do you mean?
The meek will beget the strong. The doomed will beget the chosen. Don't you see? The greedy will devour the charitable. The merciless will ravage the peaceful. And the fornicators will the chaste. We will make the world as perfect as us. We will all be aristocrats in the end. And our dynasty will never die.
End log. This concludes today's lecture. Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you're all dismissed. Goodbye.
Bro, that was fucked. I'm sorry. Jesus. Oh my god. Yeah, I'll put like a separate trigger warning at the start. Besides the one little half-assed one I did before. I didn't realize it was that bad. That was... Like, it was bad. It got worse. And I kind of poked fun at the worst. And then hearing it talk at the end, that's haunting. The final... Oh... That is, oh god, that final interview is fucked. God damn. Anyways, thanks for watching, YouTube. We'll catch you later. Bye. We're back on SCPs.